Hi again, I'm Kelsey Elaine with White Cottage Boutique, here again with another video tutorial on refinishing furniture step by step. So we've gone ahead and we've done the distressing that we want to do on this board. It's painted, or on this door, it's painted, and we're going to now add the clear wax so that we can get one that's sealed in so that when we do the dark wax, it's not going to be quite so dark. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our can of Fitties Clear Wax. I love Fitties wax. We sell it with our Blue Minerals product because we feel like it's the best wax for this. It's nice and smooth and creamy. You can see that it's, I wouldn't say clear, it almost looks like a banana color, maybe. But it goes on clear. So you can keep the color that you painted it. It won't change the color at all. But for this, when you're using dark wax is going to change the color, and you'll see that in a minute. You can kind of see the contrast here between the dark wax and the not waxed door. So I just went ahead and opened up the can with just a regular flathead screwdriver. And then I also have a spoon here, and I'm going to teach you a new way to wax furniture here. Using our new microfiber cloths. You buy these in a set of 3. The reason they come in a set of 3 is because you'll need 3 to do what I'm going to do today. And these work amazing for applying dark wax. We also use brushes as well, and those are available on our site too. The brushes, I'm going to use one when we apply the dark wax. I'm going to show you the difference between using a cloth and using the brush. We love these microfiber cloths because they really apply the wax a lot more evenly, and you can rewash them over and over again. So they're really great for this, as well as they work amazing as buffers too, so you can kind of get a little bit of a shine up if you prefer that. Okay, so we've got our microfiber cloth, and I've just got my hand behind it because we're going to take a nice glob of wax here. You can see how much I'm taking, and we're going to put it right in the middle of our cloth. And I just kind of use my thumb with the cloth to scrape it off and get it onto the rag or onto the cloth. And then you're going to turn it inside out. So now I've got this little ball, and I kind of twist it, whatever you want to do. We've got this little ball of wax inside here, and we're going to use that then to apply the wax. And I kind of put my hand over it like this to melt it a little bit, but it should melt. With Fitties, it melts like instantly. It's usually not a problem. And then we're just going to start wiping it on. And it comes out really fast, and it almost comes out like you're painting it on, which is kind of cool because you can do this really, really fast, as you can see. And you're getting such a nice, even, consistent coat. Without really any experience, the wax controls the level of wax, or the rag controls the level of wax that's being applied, so you don't ever have to worry about putting on too much or too little. You kind of just can work it in, which is why we love doing it with this. And you can see how much wax I've gone through. I'm pretty much out of wax, so you can start to tell you're out of wax because it's not coming out as fast. You kind of start to feel like you're just rubbing it around in circles. So when you're ready to reload, just refold it inside out and get a little bit more on. I'm going to quickly do the inside of the door. All right, now if you were going to buff the wax and you wanted to just leave it like this, you weren't going to do dark wax, then I would do another coat of wax, maybe let this dry for half hour. Fiddy's wax dries incredibly fast. Some other wax are going to have a very different experience. And then you're going to put a second coat of wax on. But I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, a few tips about applying wax. When you're told to put on 2 coats of wax, the reason is because it gives it more protection than 1 coat of wax is because the second coat of wax fills in the areas where you might not have gotten the consistent, even coverage. Wax actually dissolves itself, so it doesn't build upon itself. It just you're reworking the wax around in the same area. So that's one thing to understand about it. And it's also a reason that you can control your light wax with your clear wax after it's applied. It's because it actually works out the other wax, if that makes sense. So we put on a second coat before buffing because it's going to give you a little bit of a more even coat to work with on your piece of furniture. And also, one thing that's very confusing, I think, to beginners is when to buff. You can buff about 3 or 4 minutes after it's been applied. And what you're really looking for, like I said before, you're looking for that change from a glossy finish to a hazy finish. And you'll see that a lot easier when you're applying it like this than you will when you're applying it with a brush. The reason I use brushes is mainly to get into small corners, like in these cracks. You won't be able to get, especially dark wax, it's a lot easier to work the wax into corners and small areas with a brush than it is with a rag. So I use a brush to, especially when I'm working with dark wax, to make sure that I'm getting every single area covered. But for what we're doing with this piece, since we're going to be applying the wax, this kind of application is fine. It's quick, it's easy. We're just going to do 1 coat because the dark wax is going to create a second and third coat. So on to the next video.